it's interesting to me. Like, I've heard a lot of people say that their first time really learning about Juneteenth was when they saw Blackish and Facebook this year.
Okay.
And my kid was excited about it. My oldest kid, like, we all watched the Juneteenth episode of Blackish a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, he's been hyper curious about it. I wasn't there because I was heading down to retire.
Right.
And then I saw them the next day. I guess they all sat and watched Malcolm X together. And he was like, I never learned about Malcolm X in school. And I was like, you didn't? He's like, no. And I was like, well, did you learn about Juneteenth? And he was like, no, it's weird to me. And I was like,
Mm.
well, son, they say, unfortunately, history is written by the winners,
Right.
and unfortunately, we've been losing this one for a long time.
For
So,
sure.
you get it from us. Like, you can tell your
Yeah.
classmates about Juneteenth,
Yeah.
like, and just keep the ball rolling that way. So that was cool. I got spoiled. My 10-year-old, or my damn 10-year-old. Yeah, he's 10. That sounds fucking weird too.
You old, bro.
He with the assistance of his mother, you know what I'm saying, but
Mm.
he made me a steak, bone in New York strip, like, basically by himself,
Wow.
man. Like, and he likes to cook, but that
Yeah.
motherfucker was delicious. Like, when I tell
Damn.
you, and then it was,
Nice.
how, like, when somebody special cook something for you, it makes it that
Mm.
much better. So it was dope. I was like, man, you made this? He was like, uh-huh. He's feeling good about himself.
Right.
So it was cool,
Right.
man. I had a real good weekend. I started watching, you brought TV shows.
Mm.
Watchmen, the HBO joint.
Okay.
Have you seen it at all?
Seen it all.
You did? Okay. You know what made me grab it was the same thing I was bitching about last week, which was them pandering at black audiences.
Mm-hmm.
And it popped up in black shows. That's what Hulu calls it. Hulu, you got to work
Right.
on that title.
Blacks.
Black shows. I was like, why is Watchmen a black show? And then it opens up with Black Wall Street burning down.
Yeah.
And I've been hooked. I think I got like 3 more left. And what I found interesting was I remember hearing about it early on, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch it because they already said they're not making a season 2.
Yep, it's over.
It's over. And I was like, why the fuck ain't they gonna make a season 2? I heard it got great reviews, this and that. And now that I'm watching it, I was like, oh, this is too black. Like,
oh yeah, dog. It's black now. It's blackity,
yeah.
black. Like, and you wouldn't know that just by if you ever followed the Watchmen, if you ever seen the movie.
The movie. It ain't like the movie.
Right. Like, I don't think there was a black person in that cast in that movie for the Watchmen. For the original
pieces of Rorschach's mask,
Oh yeah, they did move around the
black
blackness
people
on
moving
his
around.
face.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got you like a
we're represented.
So when I turned it on and Regina King became like the focal point of that, I was like, yo, this is because now, and I will say, for anyone that's impatient, this is one of those things you have to let breathe a little bit.
Yes.
The story has to build. As compelling as it is, it has to build because it is a strange thing to watch because all of these characters are very dynamic. They're very different. Like, I won't get into it, but like when you're watching it and then you see Homeboy on a different planet with a castle and all these, you're like, where the fuck is this dude at? Like, it bounces around a little bit. It requires your attention.
It requires your attention. It requires you to know just a little bit about the old Watchmen. Like, whether you've been in the graphic novel or seen the movie, it requires you to have like a small base background. But if you haven't, just know it's going to take about 4 episodes just throwing shit at you and making you go, what was that? What was this? What just... And then they start answering questions. But the ride is so interesting that you can't stop watching it. So it's good. It's real good. Highly recommend that joint, man.
How long does it take to usually get into a show?
The older I get, the show needs to grab me in the first 30 minutes of the first episode. God damn. If it don't, I'm probably not going to continue. So
like sex.
I'm like, this is kind of whack. 1 star. Right. Will not be back.
Will not.
Yeah, man. And I know some stories need to build, but my time is more valuable to me now, and I don't want to invest in a show to find out 4 episodes in I just wasted 4 hours and it's going nowhere. So yeah, I don't know for that one. For me, I needed to build.
And I've heard that about Ozark. And I know every season of Ozark is fire.
But
I've heard people say, I've tried to watch it a couple times. I just can't. I've heard the story is really good once you get into the story. 3 or 4 episodes in, okay, cool. But you watched Watchmen for as long as you did because you were like, okay, I heard this was good, so let me give it a chance. Do you need to hear someone that you trust say, give it a chance,
that helps.
and then watch it?
That helps a lot.
So we need a stamp from somebody.
The stamp definitely steers me in the right direction. But Watchmen, I heard nothing but good things about for a long time, and I still never did it. But I know a part of it was bias from the movie. The movie was okay to me, but it wasn't great. So I was like, do I care enough to watch Watchmen? However, HBO normally don't disappoint when they start a show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that I picked it up, even though, and I got to go into it knowing that, it's 9, whatever. It's 9 episodes. When I finish it, unfortunately, now that I've seen it, I'm like, God damn, like this was Regina King at her best to me.
Yeah,
like this ain't her riding dick in the back of a van. You know what I'm saying?
What you do that at?
Chicago, Poetic Justice, nigga.
Oh shit. Man.
Yeah. Remember? That one made me go, oh, Regina King pussy is good. Like Chicago is like, give me a couple of minutes. Yeah. That was old, but that was when like she was kind of typecast in the I can only do hood movie shit. Remember, she was in Boys in the Hood. She was in that, like that. She did that sort of thing. I'm glad that she branched out and showed because she's an amazing actress. You know what I'm saying? So
for sure,
yeah. Shout out to her.
You
on this
never
show.
would have known that. I mean, because doing the voices from the Boondocks and shit, you're like, Regina King is doing both of these voices.
Man, a lot of people didn't know both of them was her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
it was like, yo, you dope as hell, man. Like you got my support with whatever you doing, except if Beale Street could talk, because I had no idea what that movie was about. Those are the most vague commercials.
I didn't even watch it.
I just kept seeing a commercial and it'd be black people in the street arguing, and then that dude would come over like, if Beale Street could talk.
It did that. What do you mean?
I was like, just say Lackawanna Blues, nigga. Like
that didn't happen like more than once throughout the movie, right? That was just one time.
Oh no, it wasn't like somebody in the movie that said that. No. It was like on the commercials. You know how they had somebody like read the title.
I thought some shit was going down the street and nigga get shot, and then nigga
somebody
in a brown suit walk up with his hands in his pants.
If Beale Street could talk, like an old black play,
which would be way better. That would have been way. I'm sorry, I was about to say that would have been way funnier, but I forgot it wasn't a comedy.
No, I don't know what it was about, but I didn't care.
Speaking of which, you said 9 episodes, and it reminded me that I watched Space Force over the last weekend.
Dog, I loved it.
I can't stand it.
Could you not stand it because it was a bad show, or because it felt too much like the military? It felt like the military, bro.
A lot of it did. A lot of it did feel like the military. A lot of it did feel military, but I thought we'd have more because I fucking love John Malkovich, right? And I like Steve Carell, however you say his name.
Malkovich's character made it for me.
That's why I kept watching. That was the only reason I kept watching that show, was because of him.
His cadence
had nothing to do.
His cadence and the way he says stuff is like, I can't stop just listening to him talk about regular shit.
Please, yes. Like I need him. I mean, him.
He can narrate anything. Like if we could get him on, I just ask him recipes and shit. Will I add a quarter of flour to the chicken? Like the way that he just puts his sentences together, man. Like all day.
That's the only reason I finished that shit.
It's got an interesting tone to it, but like the shit was interesting to me. I don't know.
I mean, I think of course, and it's interesting because it's supposed to be real, and it's kind of how they hide Trump in this shit.
Oh
yeah, talking about him.
They talk about him a lot.
Talking about him. Yeah, like
I'm surprised he ain't clapped back at them.
He don't, you know me. It's too smart for him.